serving on Tony's committee and his support system. Hello, Dr. Richardson.
Good morning.
So Tony, the committee to hold their questions until the end, or do you want us to ask them as they come up if we have questions?
I prefer that you ask me when they come up if you have questions.
Okay, all right. And so once you present, we will move to a breakout room to talk about you.
Oh, okay.
And then we will come back and let you know the final verdict. Okay, so take it away, Tony.
Hey, Dr. Johnson.
Hey, how are you, sir?
Oh, I am failing on my duties. I am sorry. Let's see.
You've got the record.
Yeah, it's recorded.
Okay. Okay.
And next down here. That back one. Back one. First of all, can everybody see his screen?
Yes. Well, I'm not seeing the screen share yet.
Okay, that would be me not doing it. I'm more nervous than Tony.
You can't be Doc.
Screen share. Now can you see it?
Yes.
There we go.
And I'm gonna kind of, Tony, is it okay if I move everybody where they won't be in your way here?
Yes, please.
All right, so we'll kind of be over here on the side.
Okay. Good morning again. I'm Tony Face, and I'm here today for my final oral defense, presenting on my dissertation topic, the perception of paraprofessional on the Grow Your Own Teacher program and 3 rural districts in Eastern North Carolina. I could not, cannot, and will not go any further until I say thank you to 4 great people that have been in my life since this journey started. Dr. West in particular, I thank you, thank you, thank you. Anytime that I call you or text you, you immediately text right back, or you would say, I will get back with you in just a few minutes. And Dr. West and I have a sort of kind of hidden relationship. And what I would do when I send her a text, I just asked her what I want to ask her. And then I said, oh, and good morning or good evening, whatever time of the day it was. She would answer back and she would say the same thing. Good morning, good evening, whatever time of the day it was. I thank you, Dr. West. Dr. Stone, I just can't thank you enough. You was with me my very first class. And here you sit today at the end. I thank you for all that you've done. Thank you for all that you will do, because I'm sure I'll be calling you again soon, hopefully, about something else. I thank you, Dr. Stone. Dr. Wesley Johnson. Dr. Wesley Johnson, we have known each other just about maybe 25 years together. I had no idea when you was teaching PE and I was teaching ELA that one day that you would be my superintendent. But here you sit. I thank you for all that you do for me. I thank you for trusting in me. I thank you for giving me your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Dr. Linda Brunson, we call her LB. You have been in my corner from day one since I started talking about writing the dissertation. You've told I would call you for certain homework assignments. There's a question I didn't understand. And you would say, give me the answer. Or when I started writing, you said, I wouldn't do that. That's going to be too much. But again, I thank you, Dr. Brunson, for all that you do. Thank you for being in my corner.
You're welcome.
Chapter 1, I'm just going to briefly give you some background information about the problem itself, the purpose of the purpose statement, and then tell you a little bit about the Grow Your Own program, and also talk about my research question and conceptual framework that helped guide my research. Background information. Who are paraprofessionals? Some are called paraeducators. They wear a big, big hat. They help out many teachers, especially in the EC department. They serve and do many credentials or trying to get credentials. They are very valuable assets to our educational system. The problem statement, little was known about how paraprofessionals in the Grow Your Own Teacher program was perceived. This is important because paraprofessionals are the foundation and enhancing the education, especially for those children with impairments. They offer direct assistance to those children, while the instructor, which is the teacher, monitor this paraprofessional since they like proper training. The purpose of my study was to investigate how paraprofessionals in 3 school districts in Eastern North Carolina perceive the Grow Your Own program initiative. One might ask, what is the Grow Your Own Teacher program? The Grow Your Own Teacher program is a program that bridged teacher shortage. And God knows, we all know that we are scrapping for teachers now everywhere. It used to be just in EC in certain areas, but it is everywhere that we're looking for teachers. It was at that point was designed for the STEM courses, but finding instructors in the neighborhood, research said was better for the actual school system itself. It was designed mainly for educators of colors, because of the fact that educators of color back in the day had a hard time getting into teaching. So this Grow Your Own program was designed particularly for the educator of color. In my research, there was 3 questions that I used to guide my research. And those questions were, what is the perception of the Grow Your Own program from participating teachers? How impactful the Grow Your Own program has been? And what steps or action must be taken by school districts to strengthen paraprofessionals to the teacher program? In my research, I searched for so many artists, there's so many frameworks, looking at see what could guide my actual study. And I saw this one. I looked at it first. I said, nah, went a little further, but I wound up coming right back to Tara Yoso, Value of Culture, Diversity, and Community, which is the Culture Wealth Model framework. I chose Tara Yoso because she highlighted 6 forms of capital that educators may use to organize their interaction with students. And these capitals are familiar capital, which just before they referring to the home environment before attending college, the aspirational capital, which define their hopes and ambition before going off to college, linguistic capital, which deal with the ability for students to develop communication skills and through various interactions. Social capital refers to the students' interaction with classmates and other social contacts. This one was a big to do in my research. That was one of the one, there was 3, but this is one of the one that was a big to do. The next one was resistant capital, which was found in the community and the experience in the community to win equal rights and collective freedom. And navigational capital is the knowledge and the skills needed to maneuver through social institution, including education environment. According to Yoso, these capital may be used to empower people The goal of the cultural wealth model is to record the experiences, qualities, and skills of students in a collegiate setting. In chapter 2, my literature review, I will explore relevant materials and significant contribution to understanding my research. I explore scholarly journals, articles, books, other dissertations, and internet sources that thoroughly associated with the perception of paraprofessionals on the Grow Young program. I'll address the Grow Young teacher program, the shortage in the United States, the paraprofessionals themselves, teacher of color, diverse culture and linguistic backgrounds, teacher professional development, which is very much needed not only for the assistants that try and become teachers, but with today's state, teachers themselves need professional development as well as administrators. I looked at the teacher preparation program and coaching and the government funding. How is it funded? My literature review, I did a lot of reading, adding to, taking out. I probably spent months throwing out, adding to, throwing out, adding to. I then looked at the teacher on the Grow Your Own teacher program for teachers to acquire certification, effectively transferred from high school to college, and grant from Congress encouraging program. I next looked at the teacher shortage in the United States. Then I looked at the paraprofessionals themselves, and then teacher of color. And if you can see to the bottom, these were some challenges, things that were up under each one. Then I looked at students from diverse culture and linguistic background, difficulty in classroom instructors, and giving back to others. Also looking at the teacher preparation program, looking at the teacher certification program, coaching. Coaching, I heard that a lot whenever I was going through the actual interviews with the participants. A lot of them relied on coaching. They love coaching. They want to see things that happen before they actually did it. In some cases, you know, they were not time for a whole lot of coaching. And then if you had districts that didn't have teachers, of course, you didn't have adequate people to do the coaching. But there were some that had adequate teaching, that did coaching, and they really enjoyed it. Teacher professional development, as I said before, not only do aspiring teachers, such as teacher assistants, need professional development, but we, as administrators, as myself, and teachers, certified teachers today still need professional development because the children have changed drastically from what we know as students. I call these the newfound children, but they are different, they are new, and we need professional development. And again, I looked at the government funding for legislature, how they were funding, and if they are funding, the state fund program and grant programs. Chapter 3, I talked about my methodology. I talked about my research methodology, my data collection, my data analyst, and ethical consideration when doing the research. My research methodology, I went with the qualitative design study. I chose this design because it allowed me to comprehend how people see, approach, and experience the world, and how their experience relates to particular occurrences. Additionally, qualitative research offered an acceptable response to the study, research questions about teachers' opinion of the Grow Young initiative throughout interviews. I interviewed 10 participants for my study who are currently or previously employed as a paraprofessional for at least 3 years in a school and one of the 3 school districts chosen for the study. I used purposeful sampling to recruit these participants by being able to, so that they were able to articulate opinions and provide informational rich responses to study questions and the study problem. My data collection. Before collecting data, I obtained approval from Gardner-Webb University Institutional Review Board to conduct my study. The data collection process was done within 8 weeks. The first step was to collect data through interviews. I arranged for interviews for the participant to do interviews at a time and a place that was feasible for them. These interviews were conducted and recorded by Zoom, and the notes were recorded in the researcher's journal. After each research interview, the participant was asked to recommend friends to meet the inclusion criteria to participate in the study. Finally, after all the interviews were conducted, I transcribed and coded them. And that was a job, but I transcribed and coded those. My data analysis process. For conducting and transcribing interviews, I use a software called Otter. To indicate the meaning of the data segment, the metadata analyst was applied to identify code. The interview transcripts were read very thoroughly to verify insight documented in the research journal, and for there to gain familiarity with the topic. The process involved going through the data line by line and paying attention to specific word sentence or text part. Individually through units were represented phrase of section of data. These values were entered into a spreadsheet at a single continuous column from which 225 codes were generated. Then I used the acts of coding, which enabled me to cluster reoccurring patterns, especially and to establish category. These codes were then labeled with the phrase representing the code, sense of meaning. These labels consisted category themes and sub-themes. There was 9 main themes and 3 sub-themes that derived from the data. Themes and sub-themes and categories were delineated into areas of focus on one of the 3 research questions. The findings of each research question and summarized as an example. The interview transcripts and my journal was visited regularly throughout the data process to make sure that nothing was left uncovered. The codes were examined to ensure that only most critical codes relevant to answering the study objective was included. The redundant code were then removed after categorizing information based on the emergent nodes and similarity. This process was repeated until the themes and category indication that saturation had been met and reached that the code continued. Those that were saturated was removed from the study. When collecting data, any scientist or researcher must follow a code of conduct to protect participants' rights and enhancing research validity and maintain scientific integrity. Principles including volunteer participation, informed consent, autonomy, confidentiality, potential for harm, and results communicated by considerate. Additionally, I utilized member check to verify data accuracy, data saturation to ensure relevant information, and the methodological triangulation by using multiple sources such as members checking, journaling, and the study design. Pseudonym was also used to protect the participant and the organization, during the study. Data was securely stored in a password protected file and will be stored for 5 years before deletion. Chapter 4, I will present my findings. As mentioned before, there were 9 themes and 3 sub-themes that emerged from the research question. And from research question number 1, there was 2 themes that was found. Research question said, what is the perception of the Grow Young Teacher program for participating in the Grow Young Teacher program? There was 2 themes found. First theme was student-teacher relationship through race. Below you will see different things that it said, building student teachers. Relationship is essential. Race and ethnicity for most part did not matter, but even though some 1 or 2 said that it did matter, and student teachers is essential for a student to feel safe. Theme 2, ideal workplace. That focused on the ideal workplace, focused on being a student that bring a number of, let me go back. Theme 2, ideal workplace, focused on more than just a student being and a test item, a student being a number, but to educate the needs of the child as a whole, is what most of them said. Most collaboration is needed and which create an ideal workplace. They really harped on collaboration. Collaboration with other teachers, collaboration with other TAs that was aspiring to become teachers. From research question number 2, there was 3 themes. These themes were the impact of the Grow Your Own program, experience with Grow Your Own program, and the support of the program. Within these themes, there were 3 sub-themes, namely invaluable student improvement, support positive experience, and support from the district. In the first theme, the impact of the Grow Your Own program were asked how impactful the program had been in inspiring students to remain positive and grow. Participants gave various responses for this question. One participant said in particular, it is very important, that it's very impactful that we can move up in our job. She said, I've seen people go from teacher assistant to academic coaches. So she said, now that I'm here. Another said, I think the support we had at the beginning of the teacher program connected us to the community college. I believe that our district is reaching out. We are spreading our wings to a degree, and I can be able to reach other capacity. She said, I think being able to have the opportunity to continue my education and to grow has helped me to get to where I am now. And the sub-theme, student improvement, one participant said, I hold very high expectations for my students and do not expect them to be perfect, but I do expect them to give me their best. I let them know when they enter my class that you are not perfect, but my job is to get you halfway perfect, or what you might want to call perfect. But I ask you to give me your best every day that you see me and I see you. The first thing that I do, she said, the first thing I do in my class when my students come in is to build relationship. She said relationship is very important. She wants the children to know that she loves them. She wants them to be able to say that they love her. She wants them to be able to come to her even if things are not right. And another said that she teaches her students in her class that they are expected to do their best at all times regardless. The fourth reoccurring theme that emerged from the data was the experience of the Grow Your Own Teacher program. Participants were asked to give their perception on the Grow Your Own program from the perspective of getting time into the program and moving forward. Most participants mentioned that the program is excellent and their perceptions are great. One participant mentioned that she got assistance from the consortium, which helped her finish her studies. She also mentioned that she got a lot of encouragement from the principal and the administration. Another spoke favorably about the program as it is today, from the point of view that others, since others had finished the program some time ago, and now she is an administrator, but she was able to reach back to those that had come through the program more so than she had. She was able to get a little taste of it, but she was grateful for that. And another said it allowed them to grow in the profession and continue to set and work towards those higher goals. Invaluable support derived from theme 4. Participants were asked what process helped them get through, what support they had during the process, and what support the district provided. One participant said she got support from her college, while another mentioned that the school principal and the administrator was very, very, very encouraging and supportive. Another said, I have so much support. She has so much support from my principal. I have had support from the resource teachers, and I found this to be very intriguing. She said even the resource teachers would come in at the end of the day and asked her, did you or do you have everything that you need? Is there anything that we can do? She said they also came and checked on her well-being as well. They also asked if she needed extra materials or needed anything ran off. So that, she said, was very, very supportive. Other participants mentioned that they had mentors and leaders along the way, financial support and human resources, and all the support that was needed at the district level. Teachers are offered tuition and books, help with books, and there are also many professional development opportunity has come about. Theme 5 is also derived from the overarching research question, how impactful the Grow Your Own program has been. From this question, participant was asked, what is their perception of the Grow Your Own program? This theme also led to sub-themes, community support. When asked about their perception, one participant said, I think it's a great way to encourage people to enter the educational field, especially if they know they can receive help, like financing. It is great to take off work to go to school for class, she said, and it's amazing. Another said, I think it would be great for teacher assistants to become teachers because you get to fit the part. You're doing the job anyway because of the shortage of teachers. So why not just play the role? They are short and they have to move to classroom to do the teacher's job. Another said it's good for teacher assistant to return to school, offer them support and financial help, and to help them become teachers. One other said, I like the support, coming together and having discussions. I like to be able to see the different resources provided by the different colleges. And the sub-theme community support, participant was asked how to Grow Your Own program supported their community. One participant said her school does support because they are in the area where it's a low performing school economically, and the teacher assistants are very beneficial to the community because they know that the community already have built relationships. They understand that kids they understand the kids and can work with them. Another participant even said, believe that the community benefit when the children exposed to their community, since they are the children of tomorrow or children of the future. One said when children are taught about community, they will be able to see and appreciate how the community works and to help define the community in the future. And another said that the program is awesome. If teachers got support, When they enter the classroom, it is very overwhelming by being a new teacher and coming in. And they do not have support they need to help the children in the community if the community don't step up. Theme 6 was aligned with the overarching research question number 3. What steps or action must be taken by the school district to strengthen the Grow Young Teacher program? Participant was asked if they think the program met the needs of the teachers. Most participants agreed that the program was meeting the needs of the teachers. One participant said, I would have to say no, just because we have such a big turnover and we have many teachers leaving, they are not staying in the educational field and they are going in different fields. Everybody that can witness to that they are going in other fields, but our job is to try to entice them, to let them know that they are needed as educators. They can make a difference in the community. They can make a difference with our students. Another said, I think it meets the needs. Another said that it meets the need of the program because you are monitoring and coming in. You have walkthroughs, people come in, walk through and giving you feedback. One said she believed it was beneficial to go around and see the different classrooms to see how the different teachers are teaching and to get feedback from them and also to get ideas. Theme 7 is also derived from research question 3. It asks, what challenges, if any, do you face in navigating the program?
Just quote one person instead of 4 or 5.
Okay. Okay. One participant said, probably the load of work. She said they keep piling up work on you. You don't have time to get it all done. One other said, it is not the district thing, but it's a college thing. She felt like as though that they were not properly prepared to come into the educational classroom and be teachers as leaders. And theme 8 emerged from question 3. Participant was asked, what would you change about the program? One participant answered and said, there can be some changes to some program, but for the most part, the way it's set up, everything is fine. Theme 9 is the final theme that emerged from research question 3. Participants gave their opinion about ways to strengthen the Grow Young Teacher program in the district. One participant said to communicate and to treat everyone fairly and respectfully. She felt like that some of the actual participants got better treatments than all. It was not equal, but she felt like if it was an equal spread and everybody got treated fairly and respectful, that it would be a very good program. Relating findings to my literature. Results reveal that most participants believe that race and ethnicity does not matter when it comes to educating. However, others believe that race should be considered when it comes to educating our students. According to Carather and Honishell, 2019, due to the changing demographic, additional educational problems are caused by race and ethical cultural mismatch between teacher and the student they teach. However, when it comes to the matter of the classroom, Espinoza and Taylor states that when social justice education tackles injustice in the classroom and society, teaching becomes about enhancing student learning and future opportunity. Sutton stated that improving teacher quality and high poverty unperforming schools have been challenging and unfocused. States or district might, for instance, concentrate on the general issue of teacher supply and believing in employing more teachers that would benefit all schools, even for those difficult to staff. However, the neediest school very rarely benefit from such an initiative. Results reveal that more teacher assistants and teachers require training that will make an ideal workplace, and participants believe training assistants will make a better assistant and meeting the needs. Walker also found that paraprofessionals generally like the background when they first enter the job, and this lack of training is at the odds with the significant role of paraprofessional in providing special education instruction. Results also revealed that some participants even made it to be principals of schools. The results were aligned with Kimball and Goldberg 2018, who stated that the goal of the Grow Young program was to create an environment where students could successfully transfer from high school to college and receive their basic teaching certificate in math or science within a 3-year time scope, and then return back to their community or local districts. Related finding to my framework, the interpret findings of this research was viewed from the perspective of Tara Yoso, 2005, the community cultural wealth framework. This model focused on educational benefits of teachers who are dedicated to contribute to their schools, families, and community. The cultural wealth model identifies 6 types of cultural capital, and that they are aspirational capital, linguistic capital, familial capital, resistant capital, social capital, and navigational capital. According to Yoso, all these forms of capital can be used to empower individuals. This model was initially developed to recognize the talent, strength, and experience of students of color in college environment. It provided a framework for understanding how students of color experience college experiences from strength-based perspective. However, 3 forms of the capital were dominated in this study. First, aspirational capital referred to one's hope and dream. The study found that participants in the Grow Young Teacher program consistently supported and pursued their personal growth despite facing real and perceived obstacles. One participant shared that their personal journey started as a bus driver. She went from a bus driver to a teacher assistant, from a teacher assistant to a teacher, from a teacher to becoming an assistant principal, from assistant principal to becoming a principal, and now working at the district as a district administrator. I'm not at the district administrator, but I went through all those stages in my career, which inspired new vision to create new possibilities despite the ongoing challenges. Secondly, the navigational capital enables educators to effectively navigate social institutions, particularly within the educational sector. This valuable skill empowered them to maneuver even in unsupportive, hostile environments. The Grow Young Teacher program has helped participants overcome the challenges of balancing work and school, providing with an opportunity to create new doors where they may not have existed before. While some participants face challenges with workload and time management, they preserve and made valuable contribution to their community. Thirdly, as I mentioned earlier, the term social capital pertains to the ability to connect with peers and other social contacts and highlight how teachers made the use of the connection to gain access to the college in the various aspects. This was my participant talked about very lot. Really, they talked about a whole lot, the social aspect of it. They were able to socialize with like people. Those people that was going through the program, those people that was possibly facing the same challenges that they were facing, they could talk to, could bounce ideas off of. The participant expressed their appreciation for the valuable support they received from the administrators, again, in the district and even the community. They also mentioned utilizing the consortium. One of the participants utilized the consortium at their district as a well-financed assistant provided by the district, as these type of support cater to the needs of the teachers. Ooh. Excuse me. Chapter 5, I'll discuss my limitation, implication, and recommendations. There were limitations to this study. One of the limitations that could affect the study is the interpretation of the results was recruiting participants from only 3 school districts in a region of serving by over 200 school districts. And I chose these 3 school districts because they were sort of similar, well, actually 2, because they were similar to my district. And their demographic looked like my district for the most part. Participants who responded to the invitation email were mainly from the same area. Therefore, they had similar experiences when answering the interview questions. Another notable limitation that emerged was related to the research questions. Although there were other areas of concern, the inclusion of only 3 research questions constrained the responses within the boundaries of those questions. Additionally, the small sample size may pose a challenge when attempting to generalize the finding. It is
Tony, I just want to point out for those who may not be aware, Tony did actually originally plan to use 4 districts. I can't remember what the 4th one was, but either they didn't respond or were not willing to participate.
Yes. Okay. And it is said, moreover, there was a lack of trustworthiness and dependability that the data due to the possibility of participants having differently than they would really real life situation. This could make it difficult for the researcher to draw inferences or generate conclusion based on the data. Furthermore, the study may have unresolved questions that the research did not address, and the research design could have been improved. Finally, it is possible that the sample may not have been a representation of the target population, which could limit the generalizability of the results. The possibility of my bias. I may have brought the study as an educator myself. As an educator, it was very tempting many times as my participant was answering the question. It was very tempting for me to jump in to try to guide them, but I just did not, but I wanted to so bad, but I did not. At times I would find myself agreeing to the question and answering. However, I would constantly constrain myself from participating. Even in my mind, as they were talking, I was saying, okay, what if we did this? What if we did that? What if we did that? But I did constrain. The implication of the study was expanding the study to include a broader range of representation of each school district. What happened there, I sent out emails to those districts that I thought that would be willing to help. Most of them, except the one Dr. West mentioned, responded back and they did give me representation. Then I conducted the research that focused on the need to support the teachers and to maintain a work-life balance. And then paying attention to the relationship between the student ethnicity, the socioeconomic status, the religious, and the gender preferences. Recommendation. I recommend it at time. I recommend time for off for school duties to attend classes leading to certification for those teacher assistants that are interested in becoming teachers. I also recommend more monetary incentive to attract paraprofessional and to education. Now I'm learning that many districts are giving incentive, monetary incentive to attract paraprofessional to the actual the district, to the program. I also would recommend professional development workshop for teachers specified to diverse and inclusion. I can't stress professional development enough. I know in my district, my superintendent and my assistant superintendent of curriculum and instruction are doing a very good job of finding us paraprofessionals, asking us, is there anything that we need or anything they need to bring in for our teachers to focus on? And that is very helpful, very helpful. I also suggest that participants connect with others throughout the network to establish collaborative classroom strategies. I do know that 2 of my district, their teacher assistant that's in the program are corresponding together and asking each other different things, even asking how they did different things to make things work better for their students, to make things work better for them. So that was good. Whew. And this brings me again to my acknowledgement. I said a whole lot. I'm sweaty all over. But again, I want to give special thanks to Dr. West, Dr. Stone, again, Dr. Johnson, Dr. J, and also not only is Dr. Johnson my superintendent, but he is the superintendent for North Carolina, I think. So he is the superintendent. Again, thank you, Dr. Johnson. Dr. Brunson, or LB, as you know, I thank you. You've been in my corner from day one. And I hope to have you in my corner for day 3, 4, 5, and those to come. But also, Dr. Johnson, you asked me a question last time. You were just wondering how many of the students that went through the teacher program, Grow Your Own Teacher program, was still in the district. One of the districts said that there was 82% of those TAs that went through the district that's still in their district, went through the program in their district, that's still in their district. Another one said from 85 to 90% said that they are still in their district. Didn't hear a response from the other. But so the Grow Your Own program is on the rise, and many districts have it already, but they're just calling it something different. But it is working. My research, my participants said that it is working, just with some minor tweaks that they will recommend, but they are recommending it to their fellow colleagues, those that want to be teachers, going from teacher assistant or paraprofessional, paraeducators to teachers.
Take a breath. Next question.
At this time, I'm willing to entertain any questions that you might have.
Tony, I think you have done a very, very thorough job covering the study. Does anyone have any questions before we go into the breakout room?
I do not.
Okay, I'm going to open up the breakout room then.
Y'all can kick me out now, right?
Yes, you're going to this main conference.
I thank you, guys. Talk about it too bad.
Yes. All right, I'll stop recording.
Okay. Oops, got one in there.
Oh, well, here they come.
Well, where did Tony go? Tony.
I just texted him and told him to go back in.
Okay.
He went
Dr. Stone
outside.
will probably grab him.
He went outside to get some fresh air.
Yeah, to catch his
I
breath,
did.
probably. Okay. Well, I want to say congratulations on a successful defense. We have no recommendations for change, and pending Dean Bull's approval, you are Dr. Faison.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations, Newt.
Thank all of you.
Congratulations.
Dr. Brunson, Dr. Johnson.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Tony.
Thank you, Dr.
Congratulations.
Atkinson.
Congratulations, Dr. Faison.
Thank you.
We're
As
so
I was,
proud.
as I was told after my final defense, you do still have to stop at all the red stoplights and the stop signs on the way home.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Tony, great
Um,
job, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah, awesome job. Very, very thorough. It's one of the most thorough ones I've seen as far as a final defense. So, okay, well,
All right. I thank you, guys.
So Dr. West,
yes,
I just want to point out with Tony, finishing the day pending Dr. Bull, that's now a 100% success rate for our cohort. So I just want to
Yes.
throw that out there for Gardner Webb.
really? Oh,
Yeah,
that's
so-
awesome.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I just want to.
I taught him. I got him started.
Oh yeah, Dr. Stone is in the background. Dr. Stone, you hear me? That's 100% for us.
I'm very, very proud of you. I knew when I saw y'all were gonna make it happen.
Ooh.
That is awesome.
And I remember what Dr. Brunson said. I was like, no. Dr. Brunson said, don't matter. The best dissertation is a done dissertation.
Yeah.
And
That's
I
right.
think in biblical term, I am finished.
Congratulations, Tony.
Thank you, guys.
All
All
right.
right, so Tony, if you'll stay on, I'll,
Actually, do you mind if he and you talk by telephone or something?
yeah, that'll be
I'll
fine.
need to.
You need to shut it down. I got you. Okay.
All
right,
I'm gonna stop. Let me stop recording. Congratulations, Dr. Faison.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Thank you guys again from Gardner Webb.
Thank you.
Tony, I'll call you later.
Congratulations, Tony.